is the last one of the series, so I'm really excited, and I absolutely love the topic because email marketing, once it's done properly and once you've set up all the automation behind it, it's got one of the highest return of investment of online marketing activities. So who's done that? Put your hand up. That's happened to me. Once I sent an email out, I think it would have been to Tourism Tribe people at the very start. And you know where you can insert first name or insert last name? I had actually, Sandra, you've done that. I had actually inserted the last name instead of the first name. So everyone got an email saying, hi Smith, or hi, Jacobson. Well, that was really, really smart not. So important thing, before you send out your automated email or your big email to everyone, just triple check by sending yourself a test email. Sandra, did you want to share what you did? You've had a typo in the subject name. You can just chat it. Well, let me know if you've got any quirky stories to share. At least, once we've done that, we're hopefully never going to make that mistake again. All right. So today I'm covering obviously why it's important, what type of content, and what things you need to pay attention to. Oh, you forgot the attachment, right, Nellie? Nice one. You're part of the club. What type of content you want to have in your email? What email service provider you want to use. So one of my favorite is when I see people sending out what we used to call email blasts from their Outlook. So half of these emails would never reach the list. And then you've got to look at obviously your list and who you're sending to. And the most important thing with the list is segmenting the list. So I'll be teaching you about that today. What templates you could be using, and then finally having your action plan ready to roll. All right, so how it can help your business. I just need to shrink my little chat here. It's getting a bit big. Okay, so basically, in the old days, we used to call this email blast. I remember my boss many, many moons ago telling me, oh, you need to do an email blast to our guest. And that blast, it really was like trying to push sales. But in essence, now what email marketing is all about is really nurturing your prospects and your clients, like teaching them in the background about who you are, your destination, so that it really nurtures them. And nurturing, as you can see, would be the top of the, the very top of the Maslow hierarchy of needs. I've stolen this from the internet, but I've got a feeling hierarchy is not really spelled properly on there. So nowhere in there, in the needs that us human beings have, nowhere in there do we actually need to buy stuff. It's really what we want to feel nurtured and learning. So it's really important to keep that on top of mind when you create your email marketing campaigns. Don't push your sales, but educate your clients in the background so that when they're ready to buy, they've got all the knowledge and the confidence that you're the right choice for them. Again, feel free to interrupt me by putting your hand up if you've got any question, because I do like the interactivity. Even though I can't see you, I do love interacting and answering questions as we go. So the benefits, as I said, is really creating that deeper relationship. And it's so cheap compared to any other ads in the paper, and it's targeted. These people have given you their permission to contact them. Email campaigns are easily shareable. What I do for our local tourism organisation, that could be a tip for Mackay Tourism, is I push that email out automatically to Twitter, to Facebook, and to all our pages to increase that brand awareness. The good thing about email addresses, perhaps better than actually postal addresses, is they stay with people for a long time. So you could reach them for many years to come. It's mobile, obviously. People take their emails with them on their phone, and it's easily measurable. If we look at our digital strategy plan here, email marketing in green is number 6. So it's a really important element of a marketing strategy that's often kind of pushed to the sides because many people don't quite know how to go about it. So at the end of today's session, you should have a very, very clear idea. The ROI, so return on investment of email marketing, is 4,300. That's why you might have heard web marketing professionals saying, email marketing is the #1 activity online with the best return. Revenue of email has increased. 60% of marketers believe that there's a positive ROI. 40% of qualified leads discover sites via email. 64% of decision makers read email messages via mobile device. Yes, we all know that we go to bed with our phone. Our phone basically is with us everywhere. So it's really easy to reach people via email. You can see that adding social sharing buttons to email messages and increases click-through rate by more than 150%. Click-through rate is the people that click on the content of your email. And 57% of businesses plan to increase their email marketing effort. The good thing is about email marketing is that maybe I need another sip of coffee. Consumers want you to invest in your email marketing strategy. About 50% of them have made a purchase as a direct result of an email marketing campaign. 50%. Make it easy and they will buy. Amazon, and hands up if you've actually bought something from Amazon. I'll put my hand up. I buy lots of stuff from Amazon. And I'll just check if anyone's got the hand up. No, I haven't bought anything from Amazon. They make it so easy to buy. Well, and when you buy from Amazon, they actually put you in an email marketing newsletter, sends you the products that are related to what you've bought. Very clever. Makes it even easier for you to buy more. Okay, time for my little poll that I've prepared. So, because you can't really talk to me, I need to find out what you're doing. So I'll just get you to click a button. Oopsie, there we go. Let me know what you're doing, how you're currently doing email marketing. I'll just sit and watch and have a cup of coffee. Can you all see my poll? Because no one's voted for now. Sounds a little bit bizarre. Oh, good. Someone has. 2 of you aren't doing any of this. Well, that's perfect. I'm so excited I'm here today to be able to help you. Anyone else? 1, 2. So we've got Glenys, Kelly, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm waiting for 8 answers. I'll show you the results in a second. Once I've ended the poll, there's 3 more of you that need voting. I'll be able to show you the results. Hang on while you do that. All right, so you're not doing any of this. True, Renee, I should actually add another question. I've outsourced my email marketing. Good point. Okay, what about the other 2 of you that haven't voted? Maybe you want to hide. I'll give you another 10 seconds. And if you don't want to vote, what I'll do is I'll close the poll so everyone can see how we're going. The only annoying thing here is I can't see what time it is. So I want to stay on track. There we go. 7, 1 more wanting to vote, 1 more. All right, closing the auction. So results are share results. Can you see all this? So only 30% of you conduct regular email newsletters. 1%, which is great. Only 1 out of 7 use a proper email marketing service provider. Ooh, 3 of you use Outlook or something similar. That is not made to send 1 email to many people. So you'll have to change that because you're basically stabbing yourself in the foot. If you send something via Outlook, it's got really, really high chances of being, caught by spam filters. No one's looking at analytics. Well, guess what? Analytics are really easy to look at these days and they'll give you great feedback. Autoresponders, you're all a member of Tourism Tribe, right? So do you actually, when you join, you would have started receiving emails. I think they even, I've signed them, the onboarding emails that take you through the process of, what the forums are, where you find the tutorials. Can you put your hand up if you remember seeing these emails? It might have been many moons ago, but as soon as you signed up, perfect. All right, so these emails, they're called autoresponders. I basically write them once, and then there's a rule that I set up. As soon as I add someone to my MailChimp, it sends them little bits of content regularly. The beauty of it, it works, and I can see people read them because people actually respond and say, oh, thanks for your email. And I have to think twice, oh, I don't remember sending John an email. And then I see what they're responding to, and it's that autoresponder. So you can see how you could be using that in your business. And I'll teach you about those. Use email marketing automation to send a thank you email. Heaps and heaps of opportunities. Only 1 out of 7 use it. No one sends a pre-arrival email. Well, remind me who is from Mackay Tourist Park. Oh, Cape Hillsborough. Renee, remind me if I forget to mention about this, but I have a really good example of how you can use a pre-arrival email in a caravan park. I'll use it as a caravan park because it actually happened to me. Okay, good-o. Keep on going. Hope I got you excited. So when it comes to email, and I have to close this poll. When it comes to email marketing, there's, as I said before, there's a few different things that make up the recipe. So we've got content that needs to be relevant and offers value. We need a really good email service provider. See that one there? Not Outlook. Have a segmented list. And I'm going to go through all this. Use different templates for different messages. And let me move this to the right. And have an action plan to make sure you know who is supposed to write to whom and when. It's not really good if you actually say that someone signs up to receive your newsletter and they never hear from you. You know, you need to stick to your promise. Okay, just a little bit of boring legal stuff, but there's a few good points that I've highlighted here for you. Obviously, in Australia, we have a law against spam. And when they refer to commercial electronic messages, it doesn't actually only talk about email, but also SMS, MMS, and instant messages. So you need to have provided consent so to receive email. As you know, a consumer, it's either expressed consent or inferred. And it's quite interesting, inferred content, when we look at it. It relies on a relationship we have made, established with the sender. So you might have purchased something. What do we have? The message sender may decide that because you have an existing relationship, you would be interested in receiving electronic messages about similar products and services. So what happens these days if basically you're sending out messages that no one subscribes to, people can obviously unsubscribe because having an unsubscribe button is really important. But when they unsubscribe, you might have seen that yourself. You have the ability to go and further comment as to why you're unsubscribing. And if you've got the ability to say, I've never signed up to that list. So if you do that, your email service provider will be notified, and you might be into trouble if you get yourself into trouble if you've got a lot of these unsubscribed marked as spam. Same thing happens if you actually mark as spam in Gmail. So you've got to make sure that you're actually sending to a list that wants to hear from you. But, you know, on a good note, Tourism Tribe sends a lot of emails to a lot of people, but because they're all people that want to hear from us, we rarely get the spam, mark as spam thing. So make sure you don't purchase lists, and make sure you only send information to people who are interested. If you purchase lists and people are not interested, they're not going to buy from you anyway. It's very important for the messages to have clear information about who is sending the information and how you can contact them, but that's all taken care of when you have an email service provider that deals with that for you, like MailChimp. And messages must contain an unsubscribe button. If you don't have that, which you probably wouldn't have if you're in Outlook, it's already going to get caught through the spam filters. And it's so annoying. And how many times do I get a lot of emails that are unwanted and I can't unsubscribe because they're just doing a dodgy. So content, what can we send? You've put your hands up, or you answered in my quiz. Many of you actually do newsletters, but very little do autoresponders, which is, you know, what I explained with Tourism Tribe. When people sign up, they get those drip feed messages, and pre and post stay. Let's go into these. to be successful with your content for your newsletter, you need to first make sure you send it regularly and stick to it. You want to prepare it in advance, because I remember in my old days working at one of our regional tourism organisation, it was, oh my God, we haven't got enough content for the newsletter today. Everyone stop what you're doing and create that content. You should actually have a plan to collect in advance what you're going to say. And it could be as easily as bookmarking articles on your browser, or if you're a bit more fancy, you could actually start typing it in Evernote or sending articles to Evernote, or at staff meetings, plan in advance, because otherwise it becomes really complex. A beautiful thing that you can use that many businesses don't think about using is content that you write on your website. So you will probably by now, hopefully, have realised the importance of content and started crafting some good messages on your blog. But you can automate for these blog posts to be sent via newsletter the following week. And that's what we do on Tourism Tribe. When you get your email on Tuesday with all the, put your hand up if you've seen that email on the Tourism Tribe Digest on Tuesday. All that this does, great. Who's got the hand up? A few, all right. So all that email does is it collects the latest content that we have written on Tourism Tribe, which is educational articles and questions that people have asked in the forum, and automatically aggregates it into MailChimp via what we call an RSS feed and pushes it out to our list. So provided you write your content on your blog, and as you would have remembered from the other webinars, that writing content on your blog is the most important place you should have your new content, then you can automatically push from your blog to your MailChimp all the latest article and push that to your segment of your list. So to set that up, it's not very complex, provided you've got a good content management system for your website. So for example, for WordPress, I connect our WordPress to our MailChimp, and that's probably an hour of my time to set it all up so it's automated in the future. It's fabulous, and many businesses could be doing that. Maybe even for Mackay Tourism, that could be something that you could be looking into at least once a month, to update people with the latest content that you've spent time creating on your blog. Because people, operators may not regularly go to your blog, but they would definitely be interested in receiving that information. Does that make sense? Put your hand up if you think that's something you'd want to consider. Great. You can always ask questions in Tourism Tribe on how to do it, and I'm happy to help. All right, you can put your hands down, or I'll do that so I don't get confused. Important thing is find the balance about what you're going to be writing. Remember to nurture these people. Destination updates could be great, the next upcoming events. Testimonials about happy people in your business that you could nick from TripAdvisor, new products, but only sprinkle the new products and the sales a little bit. Really push the educational content more and the good news stories. Fun facts, something about your team. In the tourism industry, our people. Oh, you raised your hand, Sandra, but I can't remember what I was asking to raise hands for now. In the tourism industry, our industry is made of, small businesses with real amazing things to share, and share that with other people. So, Sandra, I guess you've got a question because you've raised your hand. Is that right? You got a question, or you'd like to chat to me in the chat instead? I've got all the boxes open. So let me know how I can help. Or maybe you didn't have a question, maybe you just raise your hand. While you do that, or you may have got a question, I'll answer Renee's question. How often is too often for the newsletter? When do people want to hear from you? What's your target market's expectation? The first thing I do is ask them. So when they actually show up at reception, you could do a little bit of a poll for a month and say, when would you like to hear from us, with the information here on the elephant slide, because they may think that you're just going to bombard them with spammy email, whereas you could be educating them about whatever is in your region, or the kangaroos that you have down there, or about, tourism, anything that would be of interest to your target market. I am really confused. I have got more hands raising from Sandra. Can you hear me, Sandra? Can you chat to me if you've got a question? Otherwise, I can't quite understand what I can help you with. So I would say maybe once a month for your regular newsletter is probably plenty. And then you can give it a crack. Like you would look at your analytics in your MailChimp or similar system, and you'd see if lots of people unsubscribe. All right, so you're asking because that service was given to another company that, oh, sorry, no. Choo. Okay, I am lost as to what Sandra means. We'll keep on going. Would 1/4 would be too long, or 6 monthly? So quarterly. I think that would be fun. You don't want to annoy people. If you've got something really interesting to say, you could always do alerts in between, but possibly you could be starting. You could do once a quarter, and then if you have a specific announcement, do a special media release type newsletter. So what do you absolutely need to have in your content in your newsletter? So you need a catchy subject line. Do you know why you need a catchy subject line? Give me a bit of a help here via the chat. What do you think you need a catchy subject line? Yeah, correct. Grab attention. You need relevant content. You need relevant content and click-through rate and images. So here's an example of one of my inboxes this morning or yesterday. This is what you've got to compete with. So have a look. Which subject title would actually help you best in this instance? Which one would you pick here? There's one with a pizza slice. That's quite interesting. Big news. Which one's big news? Yeah, Kissmetrics. See the one here, I Know the Pilot, final day in capitals. Flights to Barcelona. Yeah, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? If you don't subscribe to I Know the Pilot, you should, because they've got the best deals in flights to go overseas. See, Tourism Tribe Alert here has actually got a little bell. So I'm trying to do that if it actually grabs people's attention more than pizza. So that's what you've got to compete with, and that's why you need a really good title. In terms of writing that content, here are really my tips. Put yourself in the shoes of the target market when you write. If you've done the persona study that we have on Tourism Tribe, you could actually literally, put it on your wall, and when you write that newsletter, think about the words, the age, the expression that they have, and what they want to hear from you. Very simple grammar stuff, but simple and short sentences, not really, really long, hard to read, lengthy paragraph that you'll need 3 coffees to go through. Headings, use bold as well. Images, make it really easy to read. Resize those images before you upload them, because they will take a lot of time to download if you haven't actually resized them when people actually read your newsletter. And make sure you've got a great template. Now, there's a lot of times that you may see that, or someone might tell you, oh, I haven't got your newsletter, it's gone in my junk folder. So this is what you need to avoid to pass the junk filter test. Don't use hash busting, like see how it's written, free winner. That will automatically be caught by your spam. Bad links or URL shorteners, it's not a good idea. Misleading subject lines, I've seen that a few people write RE or forward in the subject line, so it wants to make you feel that you're expecting a response from someone. sloppy code will stop you. So if you actually write your newsletter in Word and you paste it straight into MailChimp without cleaning the code, it'll look all weird. But we call that sloppy code because if you look in the HTML version, you will see that it's inserted all sorts of weird code that Microsoft Word has. Don't use heaps and heaps of images and no text, or a lot of text and no images, because that ratio is something that email service providers look at and compare with all the other newsletters that are sent. And they may not decide to keep you on as a client and send all your newsletters if you keep on doing that, because it could be flagged as spam. Don't try and conceal a message in an image. So by that, I mean, you could Photoshop an image to write some text on it, because people think that if you write text on an image, it won't be able to be read or understood as spam. Most important thing, have that unsubscribe button, and don't offer misleading claims, because systems now understand how, you know, that the fact that if you say you want a prize in the title, but in the message you explain the conditions, with artificial intelligence, these systems are able to understand the topic and that this doesn't make any sense. Therefore, it's marked as spam. Now, with these autoresponders, so, you know, the example that I gave you with the newsletter, the autoresponder that I sent in the Tourism Tribe when you join, they literally massage your list and keep them nice and warm. So it's really good when you need to announce a new product. You've already kept them ready, listening, and all open to what you have to say. So you're less likely to annoy them by having educated them in advance. So what I was saying with these autoresponders is write them all in advance, and I'll show you through MailChimp how it works, for example, and then you can stagger them on day +0, day +1, day +10, or day -0, -2, day -1. In MailChimp, so what I do is we use this one, the middle one, educate subscribers when people join our list. So you can send them a series of emails like getting started guide or an online course, or you could simply start with a simple welcome message. You could send a birthday message by this one that allows you to merge. Obviously, you need to insert their birthday, but that might automatically be pushed from your reservation system, and you can send them a birthday message with, let's say, a voucher for a free bottle of wine if they come within 3 months. Website activity, so based on the activity that people are taking on your website, you can automatically send them campaigns. So it's really advanced, and email marketing has really gone into that email marketing automation now. A good idea for an autoresponder, so is when the person leaves your business, so they've left, it triggers an automatic thank you email with a link to TripAdvisor or to your Google My Business profile or booking.com, whatever you prefer, so that they can review you. The best option, what you could actually do to avoid negative reviews, is when the customer leaves, send them a survey. If the result of that survey is positive, then send them the thank you email. If that survey is negative, have another process in your business to call them and try and fix the issue before they go out to the world, and then we have to deal with a negative review on TripAdvisor. So I also wanted to talk to you about pre and post arrival emails, and the thank you email is actually an autoresponder that has been used as a post-arrival email. And I stayed in Noosa recently, and I have to say that this motel, I mean, if you're staying in Noosa, this is a really good motel. Really clean, great rooms, and superb service. I haven't actually seen the owners or the managers, but they've kept me warm via email all throughout the pre and the post. This is what they sent to me on the 6th of May. So that was literally the day after that I stayed. We hope your stay was comfortable and look forward to seeing you again. Here is a little bit of a discount if I book direct next time. And they tell me about TripAdvisor, and it would be fantastic if I could leave them a review. So they're literally doing the top one here that I had in yellow and orange. Now, let me know, how could we improve this email a little bit more to try and get more reviews? Any ideas? I'm sure you've got some. Hope you've had a strong coffee because I'm asking lots of questions today. How can we improve? Could you put links to other review platforms? I think there's something that's really striking here that is missing. Ask them some questions to answer. That could be a good idea. They may just want to hit reply and let you know, give you a few more suggestions, which I actually did for them. It wasn't about the beds, but it was about their online reputation management strategy. What else? Can you see here? I'm trying to click on TripAdvisor. Can I click this? The word TripAdvisor? Nothing happens. It just takes me to the next slide. But it's not actually a URL. I would like to click on it so that I am taken to their TripAdvisor page on the exact place to leave a review. Do you actually have that link in your thank you email? Because at the moment here, they're forcing me to open a browser window, Google Noosa Sun Motel TripAdvisor, find the page to leave a review. And I'll tell you what, that's why I haven't left them a review yet, because it's too complicated. If it takes more than a click, I'm not doing it because I've got other things to do. Does that make sense? Hands up if it does. Excellent. Renee, awesome. And I had to let Sandra go because I think her account must have been hacked. I was getting all these weird messages. Okay, so this is how I would recommend it could be improved a little bit more. So a high first name. So when you automate it, you need to collect obviously the first name. So you can say insert first name here. Thanks for having stayed with us, blah, blah, blah. Feedback is really important to us. So direct link to the TripAdvisor review page. I haven't highlighted it, but that's a direct link. Direct link to your Google reviews page. Direct link to your Facebook reviews page. So make a note of that and edit your thank you email if you've got one. If you haven't got one yet, well, it's a good place to start, and put the direct links. Now, if you wonder how to get a direct link to your Google review, there was a question this morning on Tourism Tribe in the forum about how to get more reviews. And I've actually gone on there and commented on how to get that exact link to your Google review, because it's not that easy. So go and head over that after the webinar. All right, so we know kind of what to write, how to structure it. Now we need to find systems. So which systems are you using? For those of you that are using email marketing systems, does one of these here look familiar? Or have you heard of them? MailChimp, yeah. MailChimp's probably the most popular, and they're really funky with all their little chimpanzees and monkeys, and I guess, you know, it's a really good brand awareness. So MailChimp is the one I actually use and we recommend, simply because it's really easy to set up. When we talk about email marketing system or email service providers, we're not talking about email clients. So here I just wanted to show you some stats on email clients. The client is the one that receives the email that you have sent, so your Gmail or your Outlook. Interestingly enough, here you see that the number 5 top email client, number 1, sorry, is Gmail. So if you've got to optimize your email to be going through the spam filters, Gmail is the most important one. Not many people use Outlook and Apple Mail. And MailChimp is really good for automation, so creating these autoresponders. It used to cost, actually up until a few months ago, you couldn't use the free plan to get automation in MailChimp. You had to pay. But now, great news, there's free automation for all accounts. So even for free accounts. There's other systems out there, Constant Contacts, geez, I can't think of other ones now. Aweber, you would have heard of a lot of them. When you're considering, and especially if you're starting from fresh here, which systems you want to choose, Vision 6 is another one. Is it compatible with your existing systems? Because the easier you make it for all your systems to communicate together, the better, you know, ROI you're going to have. If you have to manually copy an email address from your reservation system to your email marketing system, it's going to be complex. get a system that works and integrates with your system. And MailChimp integrates with most of them. You know, there's plugins for all sorts of plugins in WordPress, in Drupal, in all content management systems that work with MailChimp. And same for Aweber, Constant Contacts. Look at the functionality. What sort of support do you get? You know, I use MailChimp a lot and their support is fantastic. Via live chat, I can get everything answered. It's great. And because it's so important for our business, we need to make sure it works well. Is it popular? Remember on your CVs, up to now, still people need to write down the skills that they have. Is it Word, PowerPoint? Well, you know, MailChimp, WordPress. So pick one that's really popular and hoping that your staff already knows about it. And price, is it affordable? I'll just lower everyone's hands. So here's a screenshot of MailChimp. The Forever Free plan, you can have up to 2,000 subscribers and send up to 12,000 emails per month. It covers automation and sign-up forms. And you don't have to use MailChimp if you haven't, you know, if it's not because I'm saying so, but if you haven't got one, MailChimp will do the job for you for sure. And this is if you want to grow your business plan, so a little bit more expensive. I think at the moment we pay $40 a month for all our subscribers. This is another one, which is Aweber. So you can see they don't have a free plan, but just go and do your research and look at the price. If you're obviously, price is going to be an important aspect of the selection of your system, but compare them before you head. I know in Australia there's Vision 6 as well. I haven't actually checked it recently, but in the old days they were popular. I've kind of refrained from using it because when I look at WordPress and all the plugins that we use, I don't actually see Vision 6 come up all the time for compatibility. And again, check if you want to do those automatic emails based on your blog post, you know, do they support RSS feed? Awesome. Now, apart from writing your content and selecting the right tool, you need to have a list of who to send your emails to. So put your hand up if you've got a list. It doesn't have to be in an email marketing system like a contact database. Perfect. So you could have a contact database of leads. That would be someone that signs up on your website, existing guests, obviously, or past guests, you know, those that have stayed with you or taken your tour or visited you. Agents is a really underutilized list, but B2B, you know, other businesses in your region that you could send information to. If you're an accommodation provider, you want to have a list of your agents, you know, tour guides or concierges in the hotel, and keep them updated as well. Another one to think about is PR and media that I haven't actually written on there, but when you send out your media releases, definitely do it via MailChimp as well. Have your PR list. And what do I have here in the bottom right quadrant? Arriving guests. So guests that will be arriving, so you can send them in for important information. That's where I'm going to explain. All right, let me give you a story. So this is Fifi, my dog. She's actually sitting on the couch over there, having a lot of fun on the beach. So one day my husband, 9 years ago, came home with a dog called Fifi from the pet store. All right, you know, pet store shouldn't really buy a dog there. I don't think you can anymore. Anyway, that's what's happened. Now he's given his email address, or my email address. I think we only had one at that time. And every 3 weeks or every month, I kept on getting emails about cats and fish food. They had not segmented their list. So what happened? If you get information, I'm a dog person. I kept getting information about cat stuff and fish food, so I just unsubscribed. So by segmenting your list, having the list that is different groups. So if you're a dog owner, like if you're a dog, like a pet shop, you should have lists of people who bought dogs, who bought cats, or who bought other animals, and don't send the dog owner information about cats. Same thing happens in your business. So if we look at segmenting people by leads, so these people would be those that signed up on your website subscription form, you know, they're people that haven't actually stayed with you most of the time if they're subscribed on your website to receive your newsletter. So you could send them information about the destination, a little bit about who you are, your offer, testimonials to support that, and ask them if they want to be added to your regular newsletter. So those leads, they would be set up using the technique of automation. As soon as they sign up, on day +1, day +5, and then you spread them out, day +20, day +60, and maybe on the anniversary of the day they signed up, you could send them a special offer. So you keep them warm by sending them those automated emails. And those automated emails could be something that, you know, the content that you have on your About Us page on your website, on your important pages, or on specific blog posts that you wrote about the destination. So it doesn't have something that you have to fully recreate, but you need to really think about it when you create this automation, think about it as a whiteboard, put some Post-its on your wall or on your whiteboard, and imagine the information that would be receiving regularly from you, and would it make sense? Is that something that you guys think you should consider for your businesses? Excellent, at least one. Renee. All right, past guests, thank you email. I think we've talked about that enough now. And agents would be, as I explained before, concierge, like I used the example, we all understand a hotel concierge. They have to stay top of mind with what there is to do in the region. Well, I think you all are concierge or visitor information center, visitor information people to help other people in your region. So share information between yourselves about the new things happening, but it doesn't have, you're obviously not going to send the concierge or the agents out, call them information about your destination. They would already know about it unless they're located in a different town or a different state. So that's why it's important to segment your list and send the message that that is appropriate to the segment of the list. Now, running out of time, aren't I? I'm talking a lot today. Other ways you can segment it, so location, you know, wedding market, free independent traveller market, group market. Think about all the other ways you could segment your list. But make sure that when you build your list, it's not just you that does it. It's everyone that talks to anyone in the business that should be collecting these business cards or getting people to subscribe here and there. Because the value of someone in your list would be the minimum value that they would spend in your business. It could be at least $100. You start with a spreadsheet and update as you go if you'd like. So on your website, to collect this information, you really want a sign up form that is, you know, simple, prominent and appealing. Don't just put a sign up form that says sign up for our newsletter, because people expect more these days than just a newsletter. Provide them with additional value in exchange. So educational resource, download best day trips from Longreach or wherever you're located. It could be a very simple article that you write, coupon or value add, email series, a competition. Give them something of value in exchange of their email address, not just receive our newsletter. Automatically create that form through your email service provider. So there's a few of you that use Outlook. Obviously Outlook doesn't create a sign up form, but MailChimp will. And this is as simple. So on the right here, you could see the form is automatically created from your list, and you copy and paste that on your site. There's lots of different ways. Then you can ask your web developer to make it super pretty, but in essence, it's very simple to automatically get it generated for you. Also leverage social media to add people to your list. So set up a MailChimp form on your Facebook page, add the share button at the bottom of your email, add a link in your email signature, and ask everyone that calls you on the phone, oh, would you mind if I grab your name? And then you decide if you put them in the automation for a new lead, or if they're past client, you add them to your newsletter. Offline, if you go to trade shows or anywhere, collect emails at point of sale, at reception. Again, collect that information, add it to your database. Now, let's make these emails pretty. Gone are the days when you needed to actually custom code in HTML an email template, because that was a nightmare, and those days were not that far away. But because of all the different requirements of email clients, I remember spending hours. Nowadays, programs like MailChimp actually help you you just utilize a template that already exists. just to show you that the template needs to be mobile friendly, because most of the people will actually open their emails on the mobile. So here's what you could be looking at in terms of template. There's a few screenshots from MailChimp here. Let me just show you. I had prepared. I'll share my other screen. Hi. I have prepared to take you in MailChimp just to show you how it is easy to get those templates created. So pretty much when you want to write, what you do normally is you create your template, then you reapply that template to your email campaigns. Here's some example of layouts that you can use, and just, you know, plonk your logo on there, or some existing themes that you could be using. So if I want to preview this one, oops, hang on. And if you've never used MailChimp, this is what it looks like. So very simple. This is an example of a bike shop, but, you know, let's say you wear Adventure Tours Co. And then you want to change that background image. Yeah. Oh. I'm stuck on the background image, but there's probably just one other click that I'm not getting to. If you want to change that button, you know, change the button, the style, the color, all that sort of jazz. It's very simply done. And then if you want to add more images when you write your newsletter, that's how you do it, and you just browse your newsletter. So what we do is we create the template first, the way you want it, and then we'll reuse these templates all the time. But it's really not hard anymore. No custom code required. I'll go back to my presentation. Excellent. There's heaps of options, and you don't have to spend hours doing a template. Normally, simple, better. Logo at the top, nice images throughout your content. You should be fine. The key important thing is what you're telling these people. Oops. So your action plan, basically, we've gone through the different templates, we've gone through the monthly newsletter, and you're going to have a copy of this video, obviously, in the slides. But I've just tried to show you what you could have on your wall in terms of who's responsible to send out what. So monthly newsletter, what are we going to be writing about, who's responsible, and when is it going out? Autoresponders, who is going to make it happen, post date, press date. So you just need a simple plan that everyone in your business can refer to. And I forgot, I wondered if I'd lost this slide somewhere, but thank goodness it's come now. I mentioned at the very beginning, you want to look at how you're performing, and there's a few different measures of performance that I'm going to talk about, and obviously open rate is a very important one. So what can affect the open rate of your email message? And I'm sure you should be able to tell me that by now. The subject. Remember that screenshot of my Gmail? The open rate will be really affected by the subject, and by obviously ensuring that you don't get too many bounces, and making sure that you don't send your list, that your list is not a list of people that don't want to hear from you, that may mark it as spam, or it might even never get to them. The other important thing is you want to make sure that you avoid writing spammy content, because it might end up in the spam folder and therefore never to be seen again. So in the tourism industry, and I was very excited to see this stat, is the open rate for emails is 20%. So 2 out of 10 people, 1 out of 5 generally will open an email from a tourism business. So based on the stats that I see from tourism operators we work with, they have way better than that. 25 to 30% open rate is what I would say the benchmark is for the businesses that we work with. So you see your open rate in your reports tool. For example, in MailChimp, it'll show you the open rate. Does anyone know what the open rate is? Yes, no? So you want to measure your statistics, then analyze, what does it mean? Was it the subject line that didn't make people open? Was it the wrong day, the wrong time? And just try and improve and fix it later. So here we see some reports from MailChimp that I was talking to you about, we see an open rate, click-through rate, so people that opened, people that clicked on your link. And it's important to have not too many mixed messages in your email that you send out. And if you want someone to take action, just give them a few opportunities throughout your email to take action to the same thing. So if you want them to visit your special page that you've written about bird watching, you know, that should be pretty much your only call to action throughout your newsletter. Don't give them 50 different places to go, because they're not going to know which one's more important. So click-through rate should really focus on one key action you want the people to take. And then down here, we've got the industry average here. So we can see that they did much better than their industry average. So what would influence what? So the open rate, obviously I said subject of the email is quite important, time of the day, quality of the existing relationship. If you're writing to people that stayed with you and loved it, you know, they're most likely to open or forward your message. Click-through rate. So are they going to click the link you want them to click in the email? Quality of the content, layout of the message is very important, hence why you should choose a good template. And how is your call to action written? Does it entice them to click it? If you send a special alert before the holidays because you have, you know, 20 rooms left and you say, the room's still available, maybe put needs to be claimed within 3 hours to have some sort of urgency, so people feel that they need to click. And if people unsubscribe, why? You know, haven't you talked to them in years or months maybe, and they can't remember who you are? Or is it really segmented? Is it like me with my dog Fifi that kept on receiving information about cats and pet fish food? Is your content of high quality, and is it relevant to them? And don't be too sad if people unsubscribe. They might have changed, they might have moved overseas, who knows? You will definitely have people unsubscribe. If you're getting a lot of people unsubscribe, you should start getting a bit worried. So, takeouts of webinar. Email marketing has definitely moved from email blast to email nurturing. A great way to do that is with automation. Automation is also a fabulous tool for reputation management. And now I'll get to here and I realize I totally forgot to give you the example of the pre-arrival email that I was telling Renee about the caravan park. So you can send that post-arrival email, you know, to help with the online reputation management and build those great reviews. But you can actually send that pre-arrival email, not just the automatic email that goes out to them when they book, but let's say day -5. Hi, John, you know, we've got you arriving very shortly. Here's some important information about the destination that may be of interest to you. So the example I want to use here is that we stayed at the caravan park in Charters Towers when we traveled around Australia. And one of my daughters was at that time on antibiotics and she needed a prescription filled. But we arrived there on Saturday, I think at around 2 p.m. and we're leaving on Sunday or Monday to go out somewhere else in the bush for a few days. And we got there and I realized that the chemist was shut. It closed on Saturday morning until Monday morning. So that caravan park, I feel it would have been of real value to their customers if they actually sent out a pre-arrival email with important information like this. If you think that their target market were grey nomads and families, and it's kind of unheard of these days, you know, maybe in smaller destinations, but a lot of people from the cities expect the chemist to be open at least on Saturday afternoon. It's really valuable to them to give them that information. Or it could, you know, apart from the chemist, it could be information on regular, twice a week we offer special dinners in the park. It's on Wednesdays and Sunday night. Make sure you book ahead. Or if you would like to go and do a tour while you're here, this is the link to the recommended tours. So get them ready to be arriving by sending them that pre-arrival email. Same thing, you literally just write it once. You've got all the connections done properly from your reservation system to MailChimp. So that means that as soon as the booking is made, they get pushed to MailChimp or to whatever service that you use. And the arrival date is also automatically passed to MailChimp, and you set up an automation that 5 days prior to the arrival date field, that email is sent out to them. Wonderful, simple thing to do, but what's going to happen is they're going to be really excited to have received that email from you. And once you ask them to leave them a review, they'll be already feel all warm and fuzzy about how great you were, and there's more chance that they're going to do it. Okay, be aware of spam laws. Remember to structure these beautiful emails with headings, bold and great imagery. Use bullet points when appropriate. Make it easy to read. Test it on your mobile. Remember, most of the people will see them on the mobile. Select your email service provider with care. Provide value in exchange of an email address. Have a plan and stick to it. You remember, put it on the wall. And there's a hub in Tourism Tribe where you'll find more information about email marketing, or you'll be easily able to ask questions, and it's located on that link. What have I got here? So I'll be taking your questions. Remember, you'll be receiving the final online survey from Nellie after this. And remember to head over to Tourism Tribe if you want to set up your RSS feed, how I mentioned, from these emails from your blog to be automatically sent out to your list. Feel free to go and ask a question in the forum. That's what we're here for, and we definitely want to help you. So we have 2 minutes for question. I'm happy to stay a little bit longer because I did talk for a while here. But if you've got any questions, please do use the Q&A. Or you can also chat them to me. I'm ready to roll. Maybe you're just all really hungry for lunch. No questions so far. You can't be that shy. Who's going to try implement the autoresponders? Great, Glenys, thanks. So because you have no questions, I always say either I've done a really good job or I've totally lost you and you didn't get any of this. Renee, did you get some ideas for the tourist park? Who was telling me that they had outsourced to someone? Oh, thanks. Plus 6 webinars. Thanks for the feedback. Anyone's going to implement the pre-arrival emails or look at it or want to look at a system? No. Oh, good, for sure you need this. All right, well, I'll just stick around. Feel free to ask questions. If you want to go, please do go. There will be the recording available. And thank you so much for being with us for these 6 webinars. It was really fantastic. Even if I couldn't see you, I think we've been able to help you. And it's nice and simple for all of you to do that from your business instead of having to go, to specific workshops. So feel free to continue the relationship in Tourism Tribe and ask questions. If you get stuck, there are no silly questions. If you don't want anyone to see a question, you can just chat it to us on the live chat on the website. All right, well, enjoy your lunch and I'll stay here for another 10 minutes if anyone's got questions. Bye.